12. Buddha has tremendous beauty around him and inexplicable grace, something very much of the beyond, and it became possible only because he never believed in the stupid idea of God. He went directly into the search, into the inquiry of the existence of bliss, and because he became blissful, he became divine. He knew that God is not as a person, but as a quality. It is as when the sun rises, the same quality. It is as when the cuckoo starts calling from the distance, the same quality. It is there in a rose flower. It is in the eyes of two lovers. It is there when a dancer loses himself in the dance. When the dancer disappears and only the dance remains. Day 13. The whole approach is not that of teaching you a certain belief, but of creating the right climate inside you. Bliss is the right climate. Love, sing, dance, enjoy as much as you can. Everything that is possible to enjoy has to be enjoyed, and only then, when you are rising higher and higher in your cheerfulness, does a sense of gratitude arise. At a certain point, you start feeling the grace of God, the blessing of being here. Then there is gratitude, and that gratitude becomes worship. The body is born, the body dies. The mind is born, and the mind dies. But you are neither the body nor the mind. You are something transcendental to both, something that never dies and is never born. You have always been here and will always be here. The moment one starts feeling it, the whole perspective on life starts changing. Whatever has been important up to that moment becomes unimportant. Money, power, prestige, and all that. And whatever has never been important before suddenly gains great importance. Love, compassion, meditation, prayer, godliness. Remember that within you there is something eternal.
My takeaway is that just cherish just little things. In life.
Jesus says that the kingdom of God is within you. That is the essential teaching of all the awakened ones. Don't go anywhere. Don't seek and search outside yourself. You will not find anything there. You will remain empty, unfulfilled, frustrated because the real kingdom, the real riches, are part of your interiority, of your subjectivity, of your soul. Ordinary humanity is extrovert. That's exactly the meaning of the worldly man, extrovert. By becoming a sannyasi, you will be moving in exactly the opposite direction. It is introversion. Not that I'm against the world, but not to know oneself is very dangerous. Once you know yourself, you can roam all over the world, sharing your joy and living your joy. Then there is no problem. If you're rooted in your being, you can be as extrovert as you want. Nothing can harm you. You can live in the marketplace, but your meditation will remain undisturbed. But the foremost thing is to settle within, to be acquainted with your inner reality. And my whole effort is to turn you in every possible way, to help you to go in. I cannot give you the truth, nobody can. But I can indicate where it is to be found. It is not to be found on the moon, it is not to be found on Everest, it is to be found just within you. Learn to close your eyes and see within. Godliness is our substance, our very being. It is not something outside us, it is our innermost core, our interiority. We are not to seek and search for it, it is only to be remembered. We have forgotten it. Our godliness is not lost, it is just that we have forgotten who we are. Man is capable of becoming a host to God, a home to God, and unless one becomes a host and a home to God, one remains unfulfilled. Without allowing God in, one remains in a deep frustration, because the moment God enters our being, we become God. That is our ultimate destiny, and only when this destiny is fulfilled is there contentment and the joy of arriving.
So I think he's saying that why are we seeking wisdom and grace outside, whereas, since he has put it that we are the host of God, our body is the host of God. So let's search within us, ourselves, do a little introspection, and discover who you are. That way, you'll find wisdom within you. Rather for waiting for somebody to tell you that this is how you do it, or you wait for a shrink to tell you or give you the path. Because shrinks are people anyway.
We are very close to godliness, but like parallel lines, we go on never meeting. Once we stop going into the past and the future, the parallel lines start coming closer and closer together. One day, suddenly, there is only one line. The two lines have disappeared. That is the moment of great joy, great benediction. That's what everyone is seeking, longing for. And because people go on missing it, they become miserable. Be ready. And the only way to be ready is to live in the present. You will become a home for godliness. That is the fulfillment of life. Existence is our only security. Money, power, prestige, nothing is secure. Family, friends, even life itself, nothing is secure. We are surrounded by insecurity. There is one thing which is secure, and that one thing cannot be found anywhere outside. That one thing can only be found at our inmost core. God resides there. That is God's dwelling place, the heart of your hearts. To know the God within is to go beyond all security. Then everything is safe and secure. And when everything is safe and secure, misery disappears naturally, anxiety disappears, and great bliss arises. That bliss is the deepest longing of your being. There is only one secret worth knowing, that is your own innermost self. That is the secret most place. People go on traveling far and wide. That is not difficult. Man has reached the moon. It is so easy. But it is very difficult to reach one's own center. And the secret of secrets is hidden there. The master key which can unlock all the mysteries. First thing to remember is that life has been given to us. It is not our achievement. In fact, we don't deserve it at all. It is a very strange law of existence that those who deserve it, a Buddha, a Christ, disappear from life, and those who don't deserve it go on getting life again and again. Once you deserve it, you are ready to disappear into the ultimate. If you don't deserve it, you will have to come back. Only those who fail come back, obviously. Those who fail have to come back to the same class, to the same school again. Those who pass move to higher planes of being, to higher schools that are not ordinarily visible. That is the first thing to remember, that life is a gift. Don't waste it, use it. Use it in deserving it. And the second thing to remember is strength of spirit. It is not something that is yours either. It is the constant flow of existence in you. You are breathing it every moment, unconsciously of course. The moment you become conscious, you will be surprised. We eat existence, we breathe existence. There is nothing else but existence. It is our nourishment. It is our roots. It is our branches, the foliage, the flowers, the fruit. It is all and we are nothing. The most difficult thing in life is to receive a gift because it goes against the ego. It is easier to give, very easy to give. But to receive is very difficult. And to receive when you don't deserve, then it becomes even more difficult. And we don't deserve, we have not earned it. We are not worthy of bliss, but existence goes on giving it. Not because we deserve it, but because it has it in such an abundance. The moment you receive its bliss, it feels thankful to you. You have unburdened it, you have taken a little weight from its being. But remember, it is very difficult to receive a gift. It feels like a humiliation. One feels a little embarrassed. A sannyasin has to learn how to receive a gift in great joy and celebration. because the more receptive you become, the more you will be given to you. If you are totally receptive, the whole of heaven can descend into your being this very moment, here now. All that is needed on your part is to be absolutely open and ready. All the masters of all the ages have declared that everybody is born a divine king, but is utterly unaware of the fact. Not knowing our own inner world, we remain unaware of our kingdom. And because we are unaware of the kingdom that belongs to us, that is forever ours, we go on desiring small things, begging for small things. We are dreaming that we are beggars. The moment one wakes up, one is in for a great surprise. One finds one is not a beggar, one is a king. That's the whole purpose of meditation, to make you aware of your kingdom, to make you aware of your highest potential. And once you start becoming aware, then the journey is not difficult. Just a little awakening and the sleep is almost gone. Then things become easy.
Zipper, what is it saying about giving and receiving?
Huh?
What is it saying about giving and receiving?
Giving and receiving?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that when you receive, it goes against your ego. It's harder for people that have pride and ego to receive gifts. It's easier for people that have a big ego to give because he feels like he's in control and master. But when you're receiving, it makes you feel like you're dependent, that you're depending on somebody that's, that has more than you or is greater than you. So it's like a surrendering when you receive. And he's saying the more that you learn to receive and not let your ego get in the way, the closer to truth you'll be.
I think it doesn't also have to do with how Osho defines a gift. Because sometimes, for example, a gift can be defined as something that you see as criticism, right? So someone says, your effect, this would be referring to me, not you or anyone else here, right? And it would be easy for me to take that and let ego get in the way and see how, right, and defend it, as opposed to looking at things like that and go, what is a gift or the lesson there? And not let ego be part of who I am. And go, okay, is that a lesson for me to learn to appreciate my body? Is that a lesson that I'm supposed to get some other way?
And the thing about giving and receiving, I think there's the rule of reciprocity. When you receive, you also have to turn around and give.
Yeah.
So there's no guilt feelings that I'm always taking. So that's the rule. When you receive, you have to turn around and give.
But in a different sense, you could be giving not expecting anything in return. You could be giving just because somebody's in need. But then you by so doing, you're obligating that other person to do the same thing.
But that's why reciprocity clears you of any guilt feelings. When you reciprocate, then you don't have to worry, oh, I got something from him, but I didn't give anything back. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I'm talking in terms of somebody not having anything at all. You're just giving it as a good gesture.
Right.
But then aren't you pressurizing that person to reciprocate?
In some form, way, maybe just like respect, for instance. You give them something and you expect them to at least respect you.
Everybody has something to give, right? You can give a smile. You can give grace, forgiveness, love. Doesn't matter how much monetary wealth you have. You always have those to give. Someone like you those are worth more.
But I get what you're saying. It's like if you give, you almost put that person in an uncomfortable position.
To do the same?
Like, do I have to give it back? Like, even like you said, a smile. If I smile, now I gotta smile back. But some people don't want to. Some people don't. You know what I mean?
There's an interesting video on YouTube where this person did like an experiment. He was like pretending to be homeless, and he's like in a rich area, like in LA or something, and he's like begging for money. People passing by, and he's like asking for money. People are like, no, not give. And then he gives them money, and then their response is they get all pissed off. Like, I don't need your money. Like, so that's an example of how people. It's like an ego thing, where like people feel like when they always pay for everything and they're always giving you gifts, that they are a master of, like they basically feel like a master and you're like their slave, like, you know, and it's like ego trip. So some people will not ask for help or take a gift because their ego's in the way. So Osho's basically saying you can't let your ego get in the way. You know, you have to learn to accept the gift, accept gifts, and then you know, that's like more of like humbleness, you know. So, like think about learning. Like somebody that have big egos, they only want to teach, but they never want to learn, right? And then the people that are humble, they always want to learn, and then they don't put themselves on pedestals to make it seem like they know more than everybody else. Like they're just humble. So then there's those arrogant people out there where they think they know it all. So that's kind of what he's saying, like pretty much don't be like that. Like always be open to learn. So when people are giving you gifts, it's important to learn how to truly accept it. Not where you feel like you have to give back, because then it's just a business arrangement. Oh, you give to me, I give back to you. And all, it's like you accept the gift just as is, and then you give back naturally. Like you might give back, like pay it forward, like you give back to somebody else. Like somebody gives to you and then you give back to others. And then it just happens naturally.
But it's true, like for instance when I helped out my sons, he had a couple friends that were homeless, and I took them in, and the only thing I expected from them was respect. To come home, I says, you're like my son, so you have to come home at a certain time. That didn't last very long, because they couldn't give me the respect, even though I was giving them a home, they couldn't give me the respect to be home. So eventually, bless you, eventually they stopped, even though I provided them a home. So, and I think I don't know if it's ego, I'm not sure what it is.
I think people sometimes find it hard to take responsibility, you know, for their actions, especially when whether it's someone who is their actual parent or not, but an adult figure, that they don't have, they find a little bit of a challenge to have to answer to, you know, but if you are, if you're not necessarily seeking, but if something is being given to you, there's a responsibility to that too, of receiving, you know, because life owes you nothing. But you must always be humble and appreciative of what is given. And if you expect it to continue, then you have to at least owe up to your end of the bargain. Like you said, you want them home at a certain time, they're coming in at all hours of the day.
Yeah.
And that's the respect that is necessary or looked for. And if you can't render it, then the graces that you gave should end, you know, if you can't receive it. But
Yeah, it's a shame because after that, I saw him sleeping on the bench. And I wanted so bad to go up to him and offer him, you know, a warm home. But
you know, even then you have to take a step back because they're not as appreciative as you would want them to be in giving. And it's a hard judgment, hard call sometimes.
And I'll put it just bluntly that you shouldn't sacrifice your happiness for other people's happiness. So I think you did the right thing by just calling it quit before any disastrous act occur.
I think the society's structured in a way you gotta follow rules. If you refuse to follow rules, then you gotta deal with the consequences. So it's her home, it's her rules. And then they want to sleep on the bench, that's fine, but then the police officer could be like, well, you're not supposed to be, you're trespassing, you're not supposed to sleep here. And they could lock them up. Or people don't want to follow rules, they want to go and steal stuff, then they gotta suffer the consequences and then be put in jail. You go to work, you got to follow the rules of the boss, and then if you don't want to follow it, then you can quit. People make certain decisions in life, but you're surrounded by rules everywhere you go. You know, even if you buy your own home, you still got to pay the property taxes. You still got to follow the government's rules and regulations. You buy a single family home, and you might want to grow out your weeds and just let everything go to shit, but then next thing you know, you get a notice at your door telling you if you don't fix everything up, they're gonna, you know, fine you or something. Or if you want to park your car where you're not supposed to, you're free to do that, but then you gotta suffer the consequences. You know, so everywhere you're just surrounded by is rules, and you're dealing with people that don't want to follow rules. That's not, you know, I don't think it's really, it's more about them and them just finding out what they want to do with their life.
it's sad when I found out how many homeless kids are in West High School. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
There was this tale of a young person or a man allowing a couple who was homeless to stay with them.
But I think sometimes people choose to be homeless because they kind of feel a sense of freedom, and they choose to do it because they feel more freedom. Like they'd rather, like say for example, like say to live in your home it costs like $2,000 a month, and you know what? Let me just quit this job or quit or move out this home, save the $2 grand, just live on the streets. Some people rather do that. Because to pay that home, now you got to go to work, and then you got to go 9 to 5. You got to listen to your boss. But if you don't got to pay that, then you'd be like, hey, you know, I could just not work. I don't need to live anywhere. I could just hang out in my friend's home. If it's nice outside, just sleep outside. Like sometimes people that are homeless have more freedom than people that aren't homeless. You know, because it's just a different state of mind. You know, like we might live in a small studio apartment, but these multi-millionaires, they look at us like we're homeless. They compare their mansions to where we live. They're like, man, you guys live in a closet. You know, but then we're like thinking that we're free. But then compared to the people that really have a lot of stuff, we look like we're homeless, you know? So, and the thing about it, the homeless people, I mean, if they wanted to, they could just commit a crime and then go to jail, and then now they have a facility to live in. That's what a lot of them do. They get food, they get shelter, they get a bathroom, they get to take showers. I mean,
They got nothing to lose.
yeah, I mean, you can either go in prison and get out of the cold elements, or you could sleep outside. You know, so some people, they don't want to work. They don't want to work because they don't want to listen to the boss, so then they'd rather be homeless. That's their decision. If that's what they want to do, you know.
Well, I think that's a key point, which is you always have choice.
Yeah.
You always have choice. The question is, what do you choose? And I think people forget that.
Because think about it, like, some people, one person doesn't have a home, but there's a lot of people, even myself for a long time, I didn't have a car. I didn't want a car. That was my decision not to have one. Some people be like, you know what, I don't even need a home. Or they'll be like, let me just rent out a home or roommate with somebody with 4 other people and pay like $200 a month. Or some people be like, no, I want to buy a home or rent a place. I mean, really, I mean, the government kind of messed us over, because then they're like, oh, you know, if you want to live here, then you got to pay property tax. I mean, but property tax is man-made. It's like, essentially, what if you could just, according to nature, you know, like the birds, they build their nest, that's their home, but do they have to pay property taxes? You know, like animals live out there, squirrels and everything, they're just fine. They don't need to buy a home or nothing like that, you know.
But there is value, right? I mean, if your home is burning, it's nice to know the fire department's going to come. And it's nice to have water that comes. And roads that lead to your house.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, is it efficient? I wouldn't say it's efficient.
But it shouldn't be infinite.
Why shouldn't be infinite?
Property tax.
Why?
It should be. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, it's like you have this cost that doesn't end, and it's like the rest of your life.
Yeah, but you think of a road. Does a road last forever?
I mean,
Does your electric cables that
right,
lead
but-
to your house last forever? Unless it was something that is absolutely permanent, like dirt. Right?
I kind of feel like when you're trying to do the right thing, that's where, you know, they punish you the most. You try to buy yourself a car so that you could, you know, go back and forth to work, and then you have all these ticket patrollers, and they put tickets on you and they tow you and stuff like that. Whereas you just, you know, a normal citizen, just go by their business.
Well, you know, property taxes and stuff, they help support the schools, the library, and
Yeah.
other stuff. So I'm in support of property taxes, but I am not in support of auto insurance.
Well, no, that makes sense. No, I think
That's one
it-
insurance that
I might
I never
disagree.
use.
I might
Unless
disagree
I-
with you,
unless
because
I'm in an
it's
accident,
like your life
I
policy.
never use it.
It's like your life policy. You need it, because just in case anything happens,
Right, but
Mm,
auto
mm.
insurance, I literally use it once every 10 years.
you
No,
cannot,
but
you cannot count that.
liability, I can understand liability though, because it's not fair if you crash into somebody
And
Right,
then,
and then they get nothing.
yeah.
but you never know. The minute you start your engine, you're running the risk of running over somebody or somebody.
Good Lord, Tom, you
I'm just saying, that's the honest fact.
There's a couple
That's an
steps
honest
you can take
fact.
before that.
But the
That's
thing
the
about it
honest-
is,
Turbo
You
drive.
have other cars, okay? Right? You don't know. Car in front of you, car beside you, a guy that is walking like Tabo who's gonna hit your car or whatever it is. You never know.
Or you take a chance when you step outside.
But
you never
auto
know.
insurance, I get it. It protects you and your life. or
but
whatever
it's
the
really
case may be.
cheap though. It's only like $30 a month. But property
That's
tax is
$30.
like thousands.
Oh my God.
Go to Geico.
Yeah.
It's only like
Oh my God.
$30 a month.
It can't be $30 a month on your car.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's not that much. It's like for just liability, it might be like 50.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's cheap.
Because there's
No, but
nothing covering your
Full
car.
coverage.
Full coverage. they
Full
want
coverage
you-
costs more. It's like double.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
But Geico-
$100 a month?
It's cheap, yeah.
That's great.
It's less than, like, I pay 75 a month, or 80 a month for
You're
full
right.
coverage. You know? For
Who
like
you with?
liability, it might be like 50 bucks.
Who you
Oh my
with?
God.
Geico.
I'm a Geico
Really?
too.
I was with Geico and then it was like almost 200 and something. I don't know.
A month?
What?
A month.
What?
For real.
Tell, is
I
there
was-
something
I-
about hitting the person you want to tell us?
No! Look, I tried like a normal human being to stop it.
Facts
I don't know. You know how they
There's
send you
something
this?
out.
Maybe
You know
they
what
might
it
have sold
is?
me other things like,
no,
you know,
it's
rental
based,
cars.
It's based on your history, because they see your driver's license gives away.
Oh, my history is good.
You get
Right.
speeding
Right.
tickets or anything?
Yeah,
Any
it's
tickets?
based on tickets.
Because if you have tickets, it'll make it go higher.
Yeah, it does.
What kind of ticket? You mean
Like
parking
Oh my
ticket?
God.
No, not parking.
No, I've never
Moving
had
violations.
speeding
Moving
ticket.
violations.
Moving violations are the ones that hurt you.
What
Or
was-
accidents.
Well,
Or claims.
yeah, I had one and it was sorted out.
What was your youth at the time that you had,
Moving violation?
yeah, or when you were with Geico and they were charging you
Oh,
such a
I
short,
think
what
it
was
was
your age?
2010 or 11.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you're still old enough then. I mean, it's not like you're 16. That's when they'll
I
kill you.
think that when they go from 16
You should
to 45.
reapply and see what they're
Yeah,
giving.
My insurance right now that I'm paying for, I think it's like
Well, you're
170.
170 a month?
That's a lot.
So wait a
That's a lot.
minute, you guys are telling me
No,
something.
what kind of
That's
car
a
do you
lot,
drive?
man.
It's just a regular car.
You're getting raped.
What, a
I'm
Mercedes?
sorry, it's like-
What's a regular car? A Bentley.
Stop it. You're making me feel like I'm so
No,
down.
go-
I've been living
No, no, no,
under
no.
the rock or something.
No, not that. But I mean, what? Do you have like an expensive car?
No, it's not about that. I don't know. I mean, they just quoted me all these
Then,
other
you know what?
amenities.
Go to Progressive
Well, shop
and get the
around.
quotes of everybody.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell you the cheapest.
And it also depends on the coverage you get, right? If you get like 15, 30, 30, that's different from getting. I mean, there's a
So
lot.
I've been ripped off all this time.
Yeah,
know, you're not
I was
just
getting
getting-
ripped.
Thanks for telling me that.
I was
I'm
getting
down.
ripped off with
Okay.
State
You might
Farm.
be getting. You might just have a much higher level of coverage, though.
I was getting
That's
ripped off
what
with
I'm
State Farm. I was paying like double, and then I talked to Shazay, and he told me how much he was paying. I
Yeah,
switched immediately.
Yeah, and then you know
I'm
what?
a
You
guy.
tell them, like for instance, you get some discounts if you go to a certain university, or if you have like a bachelor's or something, or there's certain things where, like if you have an alarm, if you have wheel locks,
Good,
all
good
sorts
driving
of stuff.
record too.
Yeah, you have to.
You
And
should-
then if you drive less than, for instance, I drive less than 10,000 miles a year, I get a discount because
Yeah.
I drive
'Cause
less.
you're super-
So there's a lot of discounts, and you'd have to ask, because they won't give it to you, you gotta ask. Say, what kind of discounts? Or I threaten my insurance company to leave, and they'll say, you know what, let me check and see if we can lower this.
It is a racket. I mean,
It is.
It is a racket. That's true. So Tabo, if you end up getting like a great policy, are you taking us all to lunch?